Hi Brady, so here's a quick video of me setting up my equipment. This is the loaner machine, and how I will set this up is the same way that I was setting up Alicia's, because they have the same newer adapter that goes on the tank. My personal machine that I sent in for repairs has the older adapter, and I'll show you the differences of how I set them up. So this is a siphon tank. I always use siphon tanks, and I only use siphon tanks. So here's the adapter. You put it on the tank. Got my wrench. Tighten it up. And I used to get it too loose and it would leak, so I make sure it's really nice and tight every time, but it's still not so tight that it's hard to take off. And then I get my hose and I get it straightened out so that I don't kink it or stretch it, and then hook it up to the adapter till it clicks, and then I turn on the machine. You can see it's on. I set it to continuous flow. You can see that. I open the tank and I turn it on. As you can see, it seems to be working fine right now. What do you think, Mabel? So this, the loaner, what usually happens, this is fully charged. I charged it last night until it said full battery. It currently says it has full battery. So then I will use it on a horse and it will work fine until it doesn't. And then even if I have just charged it, and this happened to me at the show, I charged it all night till it said full battery, went and used it on one horse, and before the end of the session it shut itself off and the computer itself turns off. So the screen goes black, the flow ends, turns off. And then when I try to use it again, it will turn off after like 5 or 10 seconds, and I have to keep turning it on and turning it on and turning it on. Sometimes it will eventually stay on, other times it will not, and I just have to fight with it the whole time. So right now it's working, but usually it doesn't. So that's this one. That's how I've set this one up. Now, the end is pretty frosty. It's my understanding that that's normal. You can see I've taped over the sensors because I've been experimenting. You know how you taught me about like covering the sensors? I've been trying to see if maybe my fingers aren't big enough to get them covered, and that's why they keep turning off on me. So I've tried taping over the sensors. I've tried not taping the sensors. It doesn't seem to make a difference with this particular machine. It will still just turn off. And again, like I said, it's not that the flow turns off. The computer itself shuts itself off. So it doesn't matter how much is charged. Doesn't matter if the sensors are taped or not. Doesn't matter how full the tank is. It doesn't, like, it'll just turn off. Alicia did point out that she felt like it was loose. I can't remember exactly where she noticed that. But, yeah, so that's that one. And that's the same way that I set up Alicia's. Now, the second time I used Alicia's machine, let me let the pressure off so I can show you. because she had the newer adapter, which I was unfamiliar with, I did not know that you could disconnect it originally, and that's on me for not figuring out how to use the newer adapter. I thought it didn't disconnect from the adapter. So Alicia taught me to pull the ring so you can disconnect it. The second time that I used Alicia's machine, I could not get it to connect. So connecting this way, you pull the ring and you snap it like this till it clicks, right? Alicia taught me that. I did not know that before. I could not get hers to snap. No matter how hard I pushed it, I kind of tapped it like this. I could not get it to connect. So I had to unscrew it from the tank, connect it, and then screw it back on, which is how I had originally been setting this one up. So this, when I first got the loaner, this is how I was setting up. Connected, and I'm screwing it on like this. Get my wrench, tighten it up like so, and then untangle the hose. And I usually kind of stretch it out straight like this. Now, obviously, this was lack of education on my part of knowing how the new adapter worked. I did not know that there were new adapters, and if that was part of some education that I missed, also my fault. So, anyway, there. And then I would get it untwisted so that I could work on the horse without kinking the hose. And again, turn it on. Of course, now that I'm filming, it's working just fine. Originally, my older machine has the older adapter. So I used it exactly the same, but I would put the adapter on, make sure that it has a washer in it, screw it on tight, plug it in, use it, it's fine. Now, all three machines have had three different distinct problems. If there's anything here that I can improve or change so that I can use the equipment more effectively, that I want to know, I want to improve, and I want to be educated, but each three machines have all acted differently. So the first one had a switch problem where I would push the off button, and the computer would say that it was off or whatever, but it was still spraying CO2. That's my personal one, had a problem with the switch. I think I sent you videos about that before. This loaner that I got, because I sent mine in because the hose got a hole in it. This one, the computer itself turns off randomly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Alicia's, which again is totally my fault that it's not working, although I don't know what I did wrong. The computer would stay on, but the flow would shut off. So the first one, the flow wouldn't shut off. This one, the computer turns off, and Alicia's, the flow shuts off, but the computer stays on. So anything I can do to improve any of that, I am totally open to. I want this to work. I love doing this, and I love the results that horses get from it. I have a lot of really pleased clients, but I have really had a hard time with the machines being reliable. And so if that's my user error, so easy to fix. I can change how I do things, but otherwise I really want a machine that works. So I guess I'll show you how I unhook everything. So the first thing I do is make sure the tank's off, and then I release the pressure from the gun until it's completely gone, and then I close it, press the 0 so it closes the valve. I turn it off, press and hold, turn it off, and then I unscrew it here. Oh, actually I disconnect it, obviously. now that I know it disconnects, because I didn't in the middle, and then I unscrew the adapter, put that back in its case, and then I put the machine in, and I gently wrap the hose in loose coils just back to its memory, however it wants to fold, like so. Make sure there's not a bunch of dirt on the end before I put it away. Put it in the case. I do it like that every time. So again, if there's anything I can change that makes it better, if there's any maintenance stuff that maybe I've forgotten or that I'm unaware of, or any kind of tricks or things that I could know, I would really appreciate it. Again, I'm sorry that this has been a thing with me, and I want to improve. Yeah, so any help you can give me would be great. What? And thanks for your patience, and when you're with Alicia this weekend, please tell her that I'm sorry, and I hope that we can get this figured out.